What happens when loyalty breaks down, trust turns into betrayal, and boxing legends clash with the very stars they helped create? Floyd Mayweather Jr., the undefeated superstar who reshaped the sport, now finds himself facing one of the most intense conflicts of his career. And this time, the danger isn't coming from an opponent across the ring, but from someone he once treated like family. Gervonta Davis, the explosive talent Mayweather helped guide toward greatness, has transformed from student into challenger. And this time, the tension runs deep. At the center of the storm stands Calvin Ford, Tank's longtime mentor and the architect behind his rise, who is now working alongside Floyd through Mayweather Promotions. What began as a tense public exchange between Floyd and Tank quickly escalated into a heated confrontation that exploded into a full-scale brawl, leaving the boxing world in disbelief. This situation goes far beyond simple pride. It's a fight over influence, reputation, and who truly holds the power. Get ready, because this story is filled with controversy, rivalries, and shocking twists. It all began with one major decision. Smart business to some, outright betrayal to others.
Calvin, he been with me since I was 7. I used to sleep in Coach Calvin's house. I used to sleep at his job when he was working at a seafood restaurant in Baltimore.
When I had to train Tank, when I didn't want to get in trouble and I wanted to make sure we was together, I used to take him to work with me. He'd chill. Everybody know him. Everybody know him at work.
Remember, Calvin used to fuss at the guys that was coming up with me, and they was in the streets a lot. He was telling them, like, you can't have 1 feet in and 1 feet out. You gotta be, like, all the way in it. Like, focus on the goal, you know. And them guys, they went left, and unfortunately, they got killed.
You weigh the odds out like, dang, do you want them to go to jail or you want them to live? That's the whole idea, to come to the boxing gym.
If I ain't had the people I had around me, like the people that started with me and things like that, I probably would have been off the scene for a long time.
Why does it matter so much? Because Calvin isn't just another trainer. He's the figure who helped mold Tank into the devastating knockout force fans know today. From the rough boxing gyms of Baltimore to packed arenas around the world, Calvin and Tank built a bond that seemed impossible to break. But now, Ford aligning himself with Floyd has set off a chain reaction that nobody saw coming.
You want to see you as a guy that's in his trainer, that's like a father figure to him. You're training him all the time. You know him. Both y'all from the streets of Baltimore the whole bit. Who do you want to see Tank fight?
I want him to get all of them that ran their mouth.
Tank has never hidden the tension in his relationship with Floyd, often claiming that Floyd tried to control too much and refused to acknowledge how far he had evolved as a fighter. Seeing Calvin step into Floyd's camp only deepened that frustration, feeling like the ultimate act of disloyalty, and Tank had no intention of keeping his feelings to himself.
You know, Calvin, he been with me since I was 7. I used to sleep in Coach Calvin's house. I used to sleep at his job when he was working at a seafood restaurant in Baltimore.
When I had to train Tank, when I didn't want to get in trouble and I wanted to make sure we was together, I used to take him to work with me. He'd chill. Everybody know him. Everybody know him at work.
Remember, Calvin used to fuss at the guys that was coming up with me, and they was in the streets a lot. He was telling them, like, you can't have 1 feet in and 1 feet out. You gotta be, like, all the way in it. Like, focus on the goal, you know. And them guys, they went left, and unfortunately, they got killed.
You weigh the odds out like, dang, do you want them to go to jail or you want them to live? That's the whole idea, to come to the boxing gym.
If I ain't had the people I had around me, like the people that started with me and things like that, I probably would have been off the scene for a long time.
The clash between Floyd and Tank began during a public charity event in Las Vegas. What was meant to be a calm and positive gathering quickly spiraled into a dramatic scene. Tank confronted Floyd right in front of the cameras, calling him out for bringing Calvin Ford onto his team. Davis reportedly yelled, "You took the one person who stood by me. You can't stand seeing me succeed without you." Floyd, never one to stay silent, fired back immediately. "I built you, Tank. Don't forget who gave you that stage. You really think Calvin's going to help you beat me? Keep dreaming." As the shouting intensified, the atmosphere around them grew increasingly tense. Witnesses described the moment as explosive, with both men talking over each other. Tank accused Floyd of trying to derail his career out of jealousy, while Floyd insisted Tank was ungrateful for everything he had done to elevate him. For Floyd, that complaint wasn't new. He has repeatedly claimed that Tank fails to appreciate the opportunities he provided.
My thing is, I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion and take things to that next level. And I've always been there for him. Just over the years, you can see I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great. And but over the years, it's constantly going on the internet, take a shot at Floyd, take a shot at Floyd, take a shot at Floyd. Constantly be disrespectful, when all I ever been was respectful, try to help this fighter go as far as he could possibly go. That's all.
It didn't take long for the heated words to escalate into physical chaos. The situation exploded when Tank shoved Floyd, instantly turning the confrontation into a full-blown fight. People from both camps rushed in trying to pull them apart, but the tension was already out of control and punches soon started flying. Footage from the scene shows Tank throwing swings at a member of Floyd's team while Floyd himself had to be restrained by security as the scuffle unfolded. Calvin Ford, who was also at the event, attempted to calm things down, but instead found himself caught in the middle of Tank's fury. "You sold out," Tank reportedly shouted at the man who once trained him. The chaos continued for several tense minutes before security finally managed to separate everyone involved. Thankfully, no one suffered serious injuries, but the incident had already left its mark, damaging reputations and pushing an already strained relationship even further toward collapse.
Just sit down and talk to him one-on-one, saying what his mental at. Whatever he want to do, I just prepare him for it mentally, you know what I'm saying?
After the altercation, Tank went live on Instagram to address everything that had happened, speaking openly to his supporters and holding nothing back. He accused Floyd of always needing control, saying he couldn't accept the fact that Tank was now moving on his own path. Tank also pointed out that the chaos had started to overshadow his upcoming bout with Lamont Roach. Instead of concentrating on preparing for the fight, he said he was being pulled into unnecessary drama. He insisted that people were trying to shake him mentally, but made it clear he was strong enough to handle the pressure. The conflict between Floyd and Tank goes far beyond a personal dispute. At its core, it represents a difference in philosophy. Floyd embodies the traditional model, a calculated businessman who manages every detail of his brand. Tank, meanwhile, symbolizes a newer wave of fighters who prioritize independence, freedom, and staying true to themselves.
Set you off because he was like, I gotta do that.
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
he was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I feel like y'all got, I would say love and hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, you know, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing it at a young age. Wait, like when Floyd was 29. You'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, that's the part of the deal.
He don't know about that yet. But that's bigger than his deal.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm just releasing.
This is exclusive. That's exclusive. Bigger than Floyd deal?
Yeah.
Ain't no cap, nigga. That's a lot of bread.
You'll see. It's gonna come out.
But now that the chaos has cooled a bit, one big question remains. What's next for Tank's career? With Calvin Ford officially aligned with Floyd, Tank faces a new kind of pressure. His next fight against Lamont Roach isn't just another bout, it's a proving ground. He's fighting not only his opponent but also the narrative that he can't thrive without his former team. Speaking of Roach, this isn't an easy matchup. Lamont brings skill, heart, and determination, making this a serious test. Tank, on the other hand, is known as a knockout machine. His undefeated streak is packed with stoppages, and who could forget that devastating body shot that flattened Ryan Garcia? Every time Tank enters the ring, it's more than a fight, it's a statement.
Tank Davis, bad dude. See, what I like about Tank is Tank brings something different. You know, back in the days, everybody had something. Muhammad Ali was a mover boxer, George was a puncher, Ernest Shaver was a puncher. Everybody had something they brought to the table. Larry Holmes had a jab. Mike Weaver had overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something. That division now is full, and Tank having to be the knockout guy of the division. He the one with the main knockout power. Garcia has it too, but Tank got that real knockout power that, like, if Tank hit one of them clean, usually they gonna have a problem. So it's like, I like Tank. Every now and then, I think when he knows he can beat somebody, he probably don't lock in as hard, but I think when they bring challenges, he locks in. Yeah,
he fights to the level of competition.
Yeah,
He's doing that a lot.
He got to be careful of that.
2 fights ago, he was really doing that.
You feel me? So you got to be careful of that, because if you come in and think somebody is not at your level and you underestimate him, it can get you beat. So that's the only thing I think you got to be careful of. Other than that, Tank is a real...
And that's exactly what makes this matchup so electrifying. Tank enters as the clear favorite, but this fight isn't just about another win on his record. It's a chance to prove to the world that he's untouchable, that no one in his division can match his power or skill. The stakes are sky high, and make no mistake, every eye is on him, and all the pressure lands squarely on Tank's shoulders. That said, Roach may not possess the single-punch knockout threat that Tank carries, but his craft inside the ring is elite. A slick counterpuncher with precise footwork, he thrives on frustrating aggressive opponents like Davis. Roach has spent countless hours analyzing Tank's patterns, and when the two squared off of the face-off, it was obvious. He's not stepping into the ring just to be another highlight on Tank's highlight reel.
Well, punching the ceiling, but helping is feeling like anyone has any fucking ability to even stick to a subject is killing me. The inability to spend humility, hundreds of another back home. On the freaking minute, got me thinking of finishing everything with a seat of minutes and in the minutes. I'm keeping the willing and I'm thinking about it, evil and of another feeling. Kill it, because even if I got it in a beating, it's feeling can even tell me.
Even with Calvin Ford no longer in the corner, it's going to be fascinating to see how Tank adjusts with a new coach in his corner. Enter Derek James. Music. This guy's resume speaks volumes. What's even crazier? James previously trained Frank Martin, Tank's most recent opponent. So he's been watching Tank closely, studying every move. But now, instead of trying to beat him, Derek James is tasked with sharpening Tank for his upcoming showdown.
Y'all gotta watch these guys,
right,
man.
He's a good fighter, yeah.
He was a Golden Glove champ from Indianapolis, right?
That's right. National Golden Glove champ, yeah.
Yeah, man. And, he's got some skills, dog. Like I was like, that's a good one to add to the squad.
Right.
Go ahead.
How old is
I think he's like 26.
Okay.
So he's still young.
Yeah.
Still, and listen, this thing about it, he's still getting better. He's still, because this is our third fight together. So you gotta understand that, like, once he gets everything I'm telling him, the growth process, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
He may be fighting for a world championship pretty soon. So
I was gonna say, I wouldn't mind watching him and Gervonta Davis.
The same way, yeah.
Yeah, right.
They sparred before the same way, same way.
Oh, they have sparred before?
They sparred before, yeah.
How'd that go?
I don't know. I went. I wasn't there.
What you think about Gervonta Davis?
I liked him. I like him as an individual, man. I like him. I mean, I know him, and I like him. I think that'll be a good fight. I think that Frank matches up pretty well.
Yeah.
But most of the guys that Gervonta, I think, will be probably the...
Switching from Ford to James, the big question remains, did Tank level up or take a step back? Calvin Ford's move to Mayweather Promotions is a classic double-edged sword. Sure, he gets to work alongside one of boxing's sharpest strategists, but it came at the cost of his bond with Tank. It's wild to think we've gone from Ford defending Tank and calling out Floyd to now seeing him in Floyd's corner.
You know what I'm saying? I want to catch you in a fluid situation, you know. Floyd is Floyd. Like Tank, man. But at the end of the day, you know, the man is chasing greatness. And you should be supporting it. I always tell you that. You should be supporting that, you know. It's a rocky road, like you said, what's going on. Just pay attention, man. The story's gonna build itself. You know. But again, that's how you burn bridges. Somebody see the true colors of it's coming out bad. They can't stand it, you know. Well, I don't like using that word, you know, but our Lord knows. He knows. He knows. He knows.
So, what drove Calvin Ford, Tank's longtime ally, to make this unexpected move? Ford hasn't said much publicly, but sources suggest he views this as a rare chance to elevate his own career in ways he couldn't before.
Roger never got trained this year when Floyd was Fighter of the Year. Daniel never got trained this year. So I've been openly expressing that. And I think it's time to Calvin get this shit.
Floyd's boxing empire is enormous, and aligning with Mayweather Promotions gives Ford access to top-tier fighters, increased exposure, and opportunities for high-profile bouts that were previously out of reach.
His lifestyle, he may be friends with the guy that fights that fights in the main event, but he can't live the same lifestyle that the main event fighter lives.
But this move isn't just about career growth. Rumor has it, Ford might also be harboring some frustration toward Tank, especially after the recent whirlwind of legal issues, courtroom drama, and Tank's personal life making constant headlines.
Hey, the little one inside.
You don't gotta ask her.
Well, we need to make sure she's with somebody.
She's okay. She's with somebody.
Okay. Listen, I get you that you're upset, but we can't just say.
Joining Mayweather Promotions might be Ford's way of securing a stable, professional environment, something Tank hasn't always been able to offer him.
You have to focus 100% on boxing. You know, one day you're worried about the position that your family is in. You're worried about your living conditions.
And Tank, he's furious, as you'd expect. Insiders say he feels completely stabbed in the back, viewing Ford's move as officially choosing Floyd over him. Rumors had already fueled his anger, whispers that Ford was quietly giving Floyd insider tips. And now this signing just adds fuel to the fire, making the betrayal feel even deeper.
Calvin Ford, what does he mean to you when you hear that name? What does he mean when you first hear that?
Father.
And then
As the storm between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Tank Davis rages on, one thing's undeniable: the boxing world is witnessing drama on a whole new level. What began as a professional clash has spiraled into a full-blown showdown, with reputations and legacies teetering on the edge. But how did things get so personal between Tank and Floyd, who were once tight? Here's the kicker: Floyd allegedly orchestrated ambushes during Tank's training runs. Yep, catching Tank off guard while he was unarmed. And it doesn't stop there. Floyd reportedly kept tabs on him, even tipping off Tank's former opponent, Frank Martin, about his location. Having trained with Tank for years, Floyd knew all his tendencies, and sharing them with Martin felt like the ultimate betrayal. Tank. He felt that sting deeply, and he certainly hasn't forgotten it.
So Frank, that I was running at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. I seen his people drive by while I was running. It's cool. It's all right, you know? I don't really think too much of it. He's not gonna hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to be with him than be cool with him, because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
But here's where things get really explosive. Tank didn't hold back and dropped a revelation that's turning heads. We all know Floyd Mayweather is a boxing icon, but he's just as intense when it comes to family. His daughter, Yaya Mayweather, has had her fair share of headlines, especially with her turbulent relationship with NBA YoungBoy. And now, the drama isn't slowing down, it's only getting juicier.
Yes. We were happy a simple conversation that happened to be on live, and I said what I...
Floyd's star protege, the unstoppable force in the ring, has recently been making waves for reasons beyond his fights. Word on the street is that Tank and Yaya Mayweather may have had a secret fling, and the explosive claim came straight from Ryan Garcia.
I already knew about all that. Once Gervonta fucked Floyd Mayweather's daughter, and that's not even a secret. That's not even that's not something I'm exposed.
That's a wrap for today's video. If you liked what you saw, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.